Alright guys, as you can see, the skid loader is in the shop. Got the cab lifted up, booms are locked up in the air. Just kind of looking it over, trying to clean it up a little bit before we start working on it, but I got to remove this plate, these bolts out. There's a breather right there. Get that plate off so I can get into that chain. I'm gonna try and attempt to do this without disconnecting my linkages, but that's to be determined as we go along. I was gonna wait till next week when my cousin has time to come help, but I don't want to wait that long, so I'm gonna start working on it now. And I guess if I need a second set of hands, I'll have to have the wife come out and hold up the chain, or have one of my buddies come over or something. But so yeah, I just I bedded the cows down quick, the cow shed, and gave the pigs some bedding. So this should be able to be down for a couple days now. So yeah, I gotta get that plate off, get the back end jacked up, get the tire off. I need to round up a second bottle jack. Get the tire off, then get this nut here. I gotta get all this crap cleaned off it, but you loosen that nut, and this is from what I've seen on YouTube videos and skid loader forum and everything. Back that nut off a little bit, put a couple bottle jacks behind there, then this flange that holds the tire on, get some good pressure behind him with the bottle jacks, and then whack it a couple good times with the maul. And they say that'll, apparently this end is tapered, just a cone taper with a key in it, key stock. So they say a couple good raps with a hammer, it'll pop off. And then they say to loosen up the bolt on the sprocket, and then do the same, and it should break that end loose, and then the shaft should come out after you take the nut off, obviously. So I do not have the bearings yet, but they are in stock down Eau Claire at Bobcat Plus, so I need to run down and get those bearings tomorrow or tonight or whatever. It is raining today. We've got about a half-inch so far, and it shows there's another round coming, so it might be a good day to run downtown and get the parts for this and then start tearing into it. So that's what we're looking at here. I got a bunch of cleaning I need to do. Try and get a bunch of that crap cleaned out of there so it doesn't fall down the chain case. It's amazing how dirty the inside of these machines can get. So the worst part about this whole deal is I put a bunch of hydraulic oil in this chain case 2 days before I found out this bearing was shot. And this bearing didn't go out overnight. Now looking back, it's always kind of had a clunk in this back corner when I'd be moving bales or whatever, and I'd be out in the field. And a lot of times with the bale spears on here, I'll lift up 2 bales at a time. This skid loader only has a 1,500 pound lift, so 2 of my bales are maxing this machine out, and a lot of times they're actually heavier than what it's rated for. So a lot of times the back tire's barely on the ground. Well, when the skid loader would bob up and down or bounce, I would always hear a clunk from this back corner. And for the last, I don't know, at least 3 years, there's always been kind of a funky noise coming from the gearbox every once in a while. And I'm kind of thinking it was probably this bearing going out of here. So the worst part is, like I say, I put a bunch of hydraulic oil in there. And then I bedded the cows down after we combined that winter rye, and this tire went flat overnight and dumped about 3 gallons of hydraulic oil on the ground. That's how I basically figured out that that bearing was out, because in order to get air back in this tire, I had to jack the back of the skid loader up to get the tire off the ground so the bead would pop back out so I could get air in it. Well, obviously, while I was fighting trying to get the bead to butt up to the rim, I lifted up the tire and I felt the slop in it. So anyways, that's kind of the story behind this. It would be real nice if a guy could just pop this outside flange off, replace that outer bearing, and put it back together and go, but I am going to attempt that. It's going to be a learning curve. It might work, it might not. Everybody says the axle has to come out, but that is to be determined, I guess. If I can get that bearing out of the outside without taking the whole axle out, and if I can see into that other bearing, if it looks bad or not, that might determine whether or not we try and finagle a way to get it out without turning all the way down, or whatever. I guess I don't really understand why it's impossible to take the bearing out, but if it is, I guess I'll find out why. All the videos I've seen the guys changing these bearings, this shaft going in there, this axle does not look like it's tapered. It all looks like it's the same dimension all the way down. And these guys are showing that they're pressing the bearing on with a piece of pipe. Well, if I can get in there with a die grinder and a cutter, why can't I just cut that race off, get the bearing out, cut the, I guess it'd be the bearing where it sits on the shaft, cut that inner bearing part out, cut the race out, pound the new race in, put the bearing on from the outside. That's what I'm going to attempt to do, but I really don't want to tear it all the way down if I don't have to. So that might be a mistake, I don't know, but I guess we'll see what happens as we go along here. So I'm just gonna kind of looking it over quick. I guess this is probably gonna be a couple part video. There's not a lot going on right now, so I like to keep some videos up, keep posting videos. So like I say, it's probably gonna be a couple part video. This one will go up today. Yeah, I need to, there's crap wrapped around that axle. I need to get that cut out while I have it in here. And it might be that some of the videos I've seen, these guys have actually removed both axles so you can put a piece of pipe or round stock through and pound the races out from the opposite side. Well, if I have to do that, then I'm going to order another set of bearings, which I don't think I have to order them. I'm pretty sure the lady said that they have them in stock, a bunch of them, because these bearings are used on many different models. So I guess if I have to pop both axles out, then I'm going to replace all the bearings at the same time. But if we can just replace this outside bearing and get her back in service, that's what we're going to do. But I don't want to stick a lot of money into it. I'm kind of been eyeing up a different skid loader with. This has an actual factory heated cab, but it's, when I bought it, I couldn't get the door, or the door wasn't with it. Bobcat gets $1,500 for a door, so I built the door for it. And 2 years ago, the fan went out of the heater, and I couldn't get the original fan to put back in there, so we had to custom make fan motor mounts to put a new motor in there, and it's just not right. And the heat only blows out by your left side, so it'd be nice just to upgrade to a newer skid loader that has the newer, nicer cab on it and everything. And I kind of like to get a bigger skid loader, something with like a 2,000 pound rating, and then I want the bigger tires instead of these 10s. I want to get, 12s or whatever. Hopefully they'll do better in the manure and whatnot. Maybe I won't need the tracks anymore. But yeah, anyways guys, that's kind of what we're looking at here. I got a bunch of cleaning and stuff to do, like I say, first, and then we'll get to tearing it down and see how it goes. And see, I'm just trying to look at this other stuff here and see exactly what what holds us all together, because if the bearing is just pressed on with a piece of pipe and a hammer, this hub here and the sprocket on the inside must be what keeps the axle from shifting in and out, would be my guess. I don't know. They say that when the bearings go out, you get end play in and out, but I really can't see how the bearing is the only thing that keeps that axle from shifting side to side. So I guess it's going to be a learning experience. I've never worked on a Bobcat, and you can see that seals out too, so guy probably could just go through and put all new seals in it at the same time, but that ain't gonna happen. I'll put oil in it for now. So anyways, like I say, this will probably be a couple part video, and as I go along I'll record what's going on. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Anybody's got any input on this, let me know. So stay tuned and we'll catch you guys on the next one.